And welcome to Newsroom. We're coming to you live from our studios at the Platinum Place here in Accra. I am Nadima, Umar, Uthman. Coming up in this bulletin. Traders count their losses as fire engulfs parts of Kaswa New Market. We're live there, plus details about an alleged assault of a journalist by fire personnel at the site of the inferno. Also, alleged military officers based in Binduri detained at Zebila police station after they were intercepted while escorting a Kia truck transporting cattle suspected to have been stolen from Puyamere, a community in the Binduri district. Also ahead, burial rites underway for the late Ayawaso East MP, Nasir Ture Mahama, following his passing at Kolebu Teaching Hospital on Sunday, January 4, 2025. And in business, Food and Beverages Association of Ghana up in arms against management of Tema Port over worsened conditions at the bulk and bagged cargo section. Elsewhere, U.S. President Donald Trump issues warning to new Venezuelan leader of her swearing in. We have details of these and many more, including some news from the sports world as Manchester United coach Ruben Amorim has been sacked. Stay with us. Thanks for your company once again. Remember, you can watch this bulletin live on all our social media platforms at GHOne TV. Now, a major fire outbreak occurred on Sunday night at Kaswa New Market, prompting an emergency response from the Kaswa Fire Station and the Wager Fire Station. Now, in a statement, the National Fire Service said personnel from both fire stations were immediately deployed to the scene to contain the blaze. The service further disclosed that all available fire tenders and water pumps from Accra were dispatched to support ongoing firefighting efforts as firefighters battle the inferno to bring the situation under control. The cause of the fire and the full extent of the damage remain unknown, but residents and traders are urged to stay clear of the area to allow emergency teams to work safely. This morning, a video of the fire service men or some fire service men visibly attacking a man identified as a journalist has gone viral. The incident is said to have occurred while the journalist was filming an altercation between firefighters and traders at the Kaswa New Market. So that was what happened. Now let's get some clarity on this. I've been joined by phone by DO2 Desmond Aka, who is the head of public relations at the Ghana National Fire Service. DO2, many thanks for joining us. I'm sure you've seen the video. Can you tell us why your men decided to assault first one individual and then later a journalist for filming that earlier altercation?
Well, so let me say a very good afternoon to your cherished viewers. I have not fully seen the video, but people have given me some briefs as to what has actually happened. But I can confirm that the matter has been reported to the Kaswa police station, and then the available briefs, no journalist was assaulted. We are collaborating with the police to establish all the relevant facts pertaining to this particular incident.
But this one, I'm surprised you say that you've not seen the video. The video has gone quite viral and is currently playing on our screens. But then the journalist in question has spoken, and he's saying that, one, your men attacked him for filming an early altercation between your men and some market women in the at where the fire occurred. And so you say that, per the statement, the matter is before the police currently, and then you're saying that no journalist was assaulted, but that is contrary to what we have.
Well, so that is what you have. But we are happy that the case has been reported, and then we are cooperating with the police to ensure that the relevant facts are made available for all to, attest to whether there was an assault or otherwise.
Right. Well, away from that, it's been more than 12 hours since the fire outbreak. Do we now know what caused the fire?
So our preliminary investigation suggests that the fire started from a faulty electric meter in one of the affected shops, and then it swept through the surrounding shops to cause the devastation that we saw yesterday. But our men are currently at it in trying to delve deep to know the exact fault that led to this unfortunate situation. But we would want to also advise the media to always verify from our official sources so that you can accurately inform the Ghanaian public, because we know that there are challenges with people understanding our modus operandi. So sometimes when the media also do things that does not kind of give more clarity as to what actually transpired, then it puts us in a very bad light.
But that's what is the misrepresentation here? Can you clarify?
Well, there's another video that we have also seen. Journalists giving opportunity to a civilian to spew untruths about when the fire started and when we were called in and the response in general. And that is also distasteful. That is very, very, very unprofessional, because after listening to that fellow, you should have also come to listen to the side of the Ghana National Fire Service, because we also believe in fair and balanced reportage so that we can always, almost always all the time, give accurate information that reflects what actually happened. Yeah. But most often than not, we see some journalists go to the fire scene. They don't even care to even ask those who are accusing us when they called, which phone they called, the timings and all that. But they go ahead and publish those things. And I think that amounts to misinformation. And very soon, we'll be clamping down on some of these negative attitudes towards us. It is not helping our cause. In as much as we try to do a lot more education just to be able to prep Ghanaians on the need to be fire safety conscious and to prevent preventable fires. Some journalists are continuing on this tangent that we think that it is high time we brought them to book to be able to serve as deterrent to others who would want to pursue this wrong direction.
But this one, how long did it take your men to put this fire under control? Did you encounter any challenges?
The challenges are the usual ones. You know, we are confronted with such incidents, especially within our makeshift market, where there is no proper planning. The congestion is heavy. The alleyways have been obstructed with work by these traders. Would you also believe that in that market, there is no single functional fire hydrant within that space? Yesterday, we had to travel long distances to go look for water. And that is how come we were able to marshal as many as 8 fire engines, including that of the Flagstaff House. So assuming something untoward had happened at the Flagstaff House, what will be the story by now? So it is high time we all came together and then, put in place adequate safety measures. How can you go for a container, stock it, and refuse to buy an extinguisher that costs less than 300 cedis just to protect your wealth? And when it is gutted by fire, through maybe your act of commission or omission, you tend to blame fire service for not responding. Even though yesterday it should have taken us normally about 10 minutes to get there, but it took us 8 minutes from Kaswa to that market. It's 8 minutes to get there. So how do you say that a fire started at 1 p.m., but the call came at 4:50 p.m.? Then what were you doing? So we want the journalists to help us to accost those people, because we are suspecting that they could be or they could be the cause of this fire. And Therefore, we would want them to assist us to accost them. And then we'll bring them to book. I mean, it is not helping our cause.
Finally, usually when we enter a new year, we get a lot of news around market fires. Why is that so?
Why is it that we are not experiencing these market fires in our modern market? But it has to do with our makeshift market, where the planning is poor. The structures are predominantly wooden, metal containers, and then there is no proper segregation of waste. So we want to urge the various assemblies that have these makeshift markets within their jurisdiction to do well to convert them to modern markets, where fire safety will be given premium, fire protection will be top-notch. There will be functional hydrants with water, enough water storage capacity, such that when we, and then provision of a fire station with functional tender, so that in case of any fire, our response time will be the best. Within the first 5 minutes, we should be there. So if we had a space within this market with a functional tender, we would have responded in a very better time, and then a lot more properties would have been salvaged. So we would want to urge the media, do more advocacy, even though the government has promised us to, augment our fleet of vehicles with about 100 fire tenders as well as other ancillary rescue equipment. We would also want to admonish you, the media, to also provide us time to
Desmond, speaking of the government, I don't know if you've seen it, but government spokesperson Felix Kwacho Fosu has written about what we just discussed, and allow me to read that for you. He says that the attack on class media group Samuel Ado by some personnel of the Ghana National Fire Service is most unacceptable, and I condemn same. Firm action will be taken against the rogue elements who carried out this attack. End quote. That is from Felix.
My dear sister, that is quite unfortunate because I have not seen the entire video, and I've not seen the video which shows that a journalist was being assaulted. But we are happy that the case has been reported to the police station, and then we are cooperating to ensure that all the relevant facts will be brought. If it turns out that the said journalist has not been assaulted, we'll take him on too. Thank you very much.
Right. Grateful for your time as well. That was DO2 Desmond Aka, who is the head of public relations at the Ghana National Fire Service. But we'll still stay on this matter and get some updates from our man in the area, GHOne Banayene. Banayene, many thanks for joining us. What more can you tell us? He joins us via Zoom. I can see you're currently at the scene. What can you tell us? Banayene, I think you're muted. Can you unmute? We'll reconnect with our man. GHOne, can you hear me now? Unfortunately, GHOne, we still cannot hear you. GHOne, can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but you can
right,
hear me.
Perfect. I can see that you're at the scene. What more can you tell us? I can see some traders, unfortunately, counting their losses. Take it as away.
Okay, so can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can.
Wow.
Banayene, I can hear you now.
I got here around 10:30 a.m. in the morning, and I've approached so many traders who have lost their property, and I engaged them, and according to them, they were very devastated when they heard the fire outbreak. So now, an attempt to engage the municipal PR for fire, he told me that no, he's about to, go around and see what happened or what caused the fire outbreak. So Nadima, it is a whole lot. In fact, worth of billions have destroyed. And when I spoke to some traders, they expressed worry about how it didn't happen. And according to them, they didn't know the fault, where the fault was coming from. But according to some people, they are saying that the fault was coming from a faulty meter, a faulty meter that triggered the fire. And so around yesterday, 4 o'clock, it started and it had to engulf all the area. And so worth of billions currently has been destroyed. I have seen the MP of the area here in the person of MSS Nakoyo and some municipal executives who are here. They're not also here to make sure that...
Have you engaged the traders, especially those who have lost their wares due to this fire?
Yes, initially I engaged them, but let me also still engage them and see what they have for us. Madam, good afternoon. How are you doing? What you saying? If I show up for her saying.
That be me come tomorrow.
Okay, but also for her. Okay, if I show this, you know, then I'm muka pang kakra.
Bebra ko ka be ye juma.
Yeah.
Na ase ti se obe wa bra bode. Emba na e bro, mba e bre pa.
Enti then I'm going to say aban no onye fama mu.
Mbo bi obi o fa mbo amba ni. Wa. Mbo bi obetimi da bo amba na mbegina ma na so bi mu no onye mbo amba. Na ya yem sisi.
Okay. Okay, so Nadima, let's also get to one other trader who has a lot to say. Come here. So, my dear, just saying, but what's up with her? But what's up with her saying? Okay, fine. No, let's come to this woman. Man, but live on GHOne television. Then I'll walk up fight to you here. You are live on television, madam. So Nadima, some of them are run away from the media.
Right.
So let's get to the grounds. You can see the shop has been destroyed. In fact, it's very devastating one. And in fact, almost $500 million is gone. Okay, so they are calling out for the government for support. And indeed, I must understand that the MP of the area and the person of Nakoyo is also here. The chief, the MP is also here to make sure that they console whoever has lost his property.
Right.
And so I also engaged the municipal fire PRO, and he told me that they are yet to ascertain what caused the fire. But according to some people I spoke with earlier, they told me that, in fact, it was coming from a faulty meter that triggered the fire since yesterday and today. But the fact is that first tenders were only one here in Kapwa, but they were able to, call some other from the East Legon, others are from the also Liberia camp, and others are from Dansuman. They all came to assist and make sure that they extinguished fire. And so they've lost a lot of property. In fact, they've lost everything. They couldn't take a dime from the store. The shop is already bent into ashes, and now some of them are crying.
Grateful for those updates. GHOne Banahene is our Central Regional Correspondent who is currently at the scene giving us some updates some 12 hours after the fire outbreak. Now, the Member of Parliament for the Ewusu Senya East Constituency, Okuno Nakoyo Phyllis, visited the scene to assess the extent of damage caused. She also assured residents and traders of her commitment to collaborate with the Town and Country Planning Department to reconstruct an access road leading to the market and to remove unauthorized structures obstructing these roads.
Father, between your family, maybe I was saying, you're very now, maybe I used to shops are any authorized. You're anytime when country planning follow, every say, man, together with the engineers, I say, maybe I was find that. And then now, issue, and Mara, and I'm just for now, almost Tom with Gianni, and now almost with Gianni, our markets. Any year, sure, and now. Almost share cigarettes and markets. Your strong to say all these things might be a contributing factor. You see, when you're because listen, at the end of the day, and you're one person that is affected. There is a lot of people, a lot of properties are being lost, a lot of investments are washed down the drain. It's your best way. Says right here, man. Enjoy cooking at the marketplaces, not putting out your secrets or even smoking at the market. And also illegal connection. Our market actually enjoy. So I think after this, it is a great lesson for all of us. And I'm sure, say, after this, all the stakeholders will come together. Then we come to the market. And then they are educating market women who will be there. Now, they may be almost some culture and super view our high, and my son, your market is.
In some more stories, the Accra Regional Police Command has arrested 2 women in connection with the assault of a 12-year-old girl at the La Roman JHS school area, following a complaint lodged by the victim's mother. In a statement issued by the police, the incident was said to have occurred on Tuesday, December 30, 2025. Now, the victim's mother reported the case after appearing at the police station with her daughter, who had visible marks of assault. She alleged that her daughter was attacked by 3 women without provocation. Preliminary investigations revealed that earlier that day, the 12-year-old girl had an altercation with a 7-year-old boy, who is related to the suspects. The police say that the situation later escalated when the suspects allegedly went to the victim's house, brought her to their residence and assaulted her. On Wednesday, December 31, 2025, the complainant led police officers to arrest two of the suspects, that is Precious Mesope, aged 22, and Princess Mesope, who is aged 25. Both suspects are currently in police custody and assisting with investigations. The third suspect, however, identified as Presla Wonyo, who is aged 49 and a fashion designer and mother of the two arrested women, is reported to have traveled to the Volta region. Police say efforts are ongoing to locate and arrest her to aid the investigation. The two arrested suspects have been formally charged and are expected to be put before court today. Meanwhile, the Accra Regional Police Command has cautioned the public against resorting to violence, especially in disputes involving children. The police urge parents, guardians, and community members to use lawful means to resolve grievances and to report incidents promptly. Burial rites are currently underway for the late Nasser Toure Mahama, Member of Parliament for Ayawaso East, at his home following his passing at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital on Sunday, January 4, 2025. The burial will be conducted in accordance with Islamic traditions. The 60-year-old veteran legislator, popularly known as Macnaza, had been battling a chronic illness and was admitted to the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, where his condition deteriorated. He had represented the Ayawaso East constituency since 2013 and served as vice chairman of the Energy Committee in the 9th Parliament. There's more in the following report filed by Benjamin Saki.
A shadow of grief has fallen on the Ayawaso East constituency as friends, family, members of Parliament, deputy ministers gather here to mourn the untimely death of the Member of Parliament for Ayawaso East, Mahama Toure Naza. Here is the mortal remains of the late Member of Parliament for the Ayawaso East constituency, Mahama Toure Naza, arrives at his residence at Spintex. Member of Parliament for Ayawaso North constituency and also the Deputy Minister for Tourism, Creative Art and Culture, Yusuf Jaja, gave the news team the itinerary for the day and also confirmed the death of the Member of Parliament for Ayawaso East, Mahama Toure Naza.
Indeed, what you have heard is true. At around 11 a.m. this morning, my senior brother, senior colleague, is the MP for Ayawaso East. I'm the MP for Ayawaso North. We heard of the sudden news, and I had to rush in here with my wife, only to realize it's only the wife that is home. So I left my wife here, rushed to Kolebu. Through the intervention of His Excellency the President, we were able to fast-track the process to get the body. As we're speaking now, we have brought the body home, but as customs demands, God willing, tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock, the prayer will be observed on him at the Kanda Highway, where his office is, his constituency office is, just on the Kanda Highway. Tomorrow, 10 o'clock, His Eminence, the National Chief Imam, will lead the Janaiza prayer for him. From there, we will take him to Medina Cemetery.
Some members of Parliament shared their fondest memory of the late Member of Parliament for Ayawaso East.
I came together with him in Parliament. We were together the 2013, we were sworn in with the regional chairman together. And now the fourth timers we are left with, it's left with me and him as fourth timers in Parliament. And now he's gone. So I feel so lonely and sad. All I will say is may his soul rest in perfect peace. God should console the wife, and then as a party we'll work together with the wife to take care of the children that he has left behind.
I have always seen him as a very quiet person. He's one person, and let me be frank with you. When I heard he was dead, I was like, this is serious. This is one person that you will hardly hear him talk. So anytime, I just remember, anytime I'm passing in front of him, I have to stop and shake hands with him.
Honorable Naza was like a senior brother to all of us. I met him in Parliament in 2017, and he has remained one of our big brothers who has been guiding us and showing us the ropes of how to survive and work as a parliamentarian. This has come as a shock to all of us, members of Parliament especially. The messages of condolences and shock have not since ceased coming on our MP's platform. This is not how we prayed to start the new year.
Personally, me, I liked him a lot because he was my caucus chair. You know, Greater Accra, every region has their own caucuses, and Greater Accra, he was our caucus chair. And each time, he was somebody I could always confide in. Whenever I had challenges, I talked to. You know, somebody I was comfortable dealing with. He was a very nice person.
It's very shocking. He was a very good man. He was the Greater Accra caucus chairman. Me, for example, anytime he sees me, he was like, my brother, how are you? Are you trying to learn Ga and all that? I said, oh, chairman, I'm trying to learn it, but with time I'll get it. So it was very, very shocking.
Some constituents had this to share.
The wife called me early this morning around 9, and then she told me that my father has passed away. That's all she said. Then she cut the line. That's all. So after speaking with her, I called the MC. Then I told the MC, this is the bad news that has happened to us, so we should move to his house.
A good offer. It mean to me, Casio, a dorsal, Ubia Naza, Ubia and Papa. Any papa, I'm funny, can see. I'm funny, can see.
Naza is a prominent leader, a truthful leader. That's all I can say about him. He's a truthful leader, and he's a competent leader. That's all I can say about him.
It's been a solemn moment here at the residence of the late Member of Parliament for Ayawaso East, Mahama Ture Naza. We understand the Zaniza prayers will take place tomorrow, January 5, 2026 at 10 a.m. at Kanda Highway and his constituency. Reporting for GHOne TV and Star FM, Benjamin Saki.
Well, condolences continue to pour in following the announcement of his demise. Here's the Municipal Chief Executive for Ayawaso East, Ganiu Abdul Ibrahim, eulogizing him on Morning Star.
I don't know how to describe how my Member of Parliament is helping me a lot. He's one of the best MP I can say from my municipality. And Honorable Muhammad Ture is one of the kind Member of Parliament, and I also have lost a great person. There are a lot of projects. Even he sent me a document regarding this art father that they will be doing in the whole municipality. He sent me the whole document, and then he was happy that finally he got the contract on the way. So, so sad. And the Member of Parliament has a lot of legacy projects he did. When you go to Nima, we have a place called the Ashama Station, the Medina Station, and then the Nima Government Hospital. He provide ambulance for them. when he go to the 37 military hospital, he makes sure every year he renovates a ward. We have a Nadima class of school. He makes sure he go there. And then when it's every year, every BEC year, he makes sure he pay for the mock for all the school students in Iowa East. He give them sets, pens, pencil, books, everything. He's doing a lot. He has a lot of legacy that we can remember him of.
Teachers have threatened to stage another demonstration and is also considering legal action against the government over delays in the payment of salary arrears and the issuance of staff identification cards to its members. The group says more than 6,000 teachers who have worked for between 12 and 15 months have been paid only 2 months' salary, with the prolonged delays worsening their cost of living pressures despite a protest that was organized last year. The issue centers on discrepancy in compensation. Now, according to the coalition, many of its members have been at their post for between 12 and 15 months, yet they've not received, or they've only received payments for 2 months of service. Well, the lead convener of the coalition, Simon Kofi Nate, has joined us live. He joins us via phone. Simon, I remember sometime in September last year, you did organize a demonstration over this same issue. Did you not have any engagement with the ministry?
Thank you very much. Good afternoon to your viewers and the listeners.
Simon.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, so good afternoon once again. As you rightly put it, after September, we had a series of engagement with our employers, even as far as the Ministry of Finance and then the Controller and Accountants General Department. And so we got some results in October when we had the financial clearance to proceed with the rest of the process. So in November, those of us without the staff IDs, some of us were issued the staff IDs. So at the time, we were over 500, we were 582 without staff identification numbers. But as of November, first week in November, a number of us had the staff IDs. As we speak now, we have just about close to 30 of us without a staff ID. And
okay, then so initially started with over, most of your members, over 6,000 of them did not have the staff ID, but now less than 30.
Out of the 6,000, it was 582 who were without the staff ID.
Okay.
Yes. So as we speak now, we just have close to 30 who are still not without a staff ID. Then, fortunately for us, we were validated for the month of November, that was last year, to receive our money. The interesting part of it all was that when the validation came, it captured us with all the arrears, including the salary for November. Then some days after the validation, we heard that there had been a directive to controller to reverse all the money and then they should pay us with only 1 month. We took it as just a mere rumor, but to our surprise, when the salaries came, they paid only 1 month. It was then that we had the issue of teachers' allowances that were not also paid. And so, if you could remember, Mr. Daniel came to clarify that they have some problems and challenges, and that was the reason why they couldn't pay the allowances. And so arrears and then allowances will be paid in December. So we comforted ourselves with his work, knowing very well that December we were going to be paid with our arrears. Also, they captured us on the validation portal with all the arrears, but when the payment came, they paid for only 1 month. So as we speak, out of the 16 months, we've been paid only 2 months after the 16.
And they've not told you why you've been paid only 1 month, despite the fact that it was captured?
Nobody has come to say anything. And one interesting thing is that our assumption of duty has been changed. Myself, for instance, we started working in September 2024. That's 10 September. As I speak, they've changed my assumption of duty letter. There are some colleagues too whose ranks have been changed, and nobody is explaining anything to us.
But have you had any attempts, Simon, to engage them yourselves?
The last time we had an engagement with them was last week when one of the executives went to follow up on our colleagues who still haven't received their staff ID. And most of the times when you go, you don't even meet them. You go and then they will tell you they are in a meeting, they are not there, blah, blah, blah. So we only met some people from the IPPD department, those who are in charge of issuing the staff IDs, and then they keep telling us that those who haven't received the staff IDs will get it. That is the message they keep telling us. But as to why the salaries are not paid, that one, nobody has given us any explanation to that, and nobody has given us any timeline that in this time or in this period of time we should expect our money or there should be a payment structure. Nobody has said anything to us.
Simon, we're also working our phone lines to try and get some answers for you. But in the interim, what do you plan to do next?
All right, so after today, we are waiting for January payments, and maybe after today's encounter with the media, something might change. If it goes the other way, if nothing happens after January payments, then we will stage another proper demonstration, and then we are going to cap the demonstration with a legal action against our employer.
Grateful that you could join us here on Newsroom. That was Simon Kofi Nate, who is the lead convener for the Coalition of Unpaid Teachers. You're still watching Newsroom live on GHOne TV. I am Nadima Umar Uthman. Stay with us. We have more in turn from this break. Live on GHOne TV with me, Nadima, Umar, Uthman. In some more stories, a group of military officers based in Binduri have allegedly been detained at the Zebila police station after they were intercepted while escorting a Kia truck transporting cattle suspected to have been stolen from Puyamiri, a community in the Binduri district. Sources say one of the officers arranged for the truck in Bolgatanga to convey the animals. The police has since impounded the cattle and detained the driver as investigations continue. Let's go over Zoom and speak to our Upper East Regional Correspondent, Kasim Idrisu. Kasim, many thanks for joining us. What more can you tell us about this case? We know that the military officers have been detained.
Yeah, good afternoon. Like you rightly said, the suspects who were involved in this case have been detained. And as we speak now, there are so many questions surrounding this incident. There was a vehicle which about 4 military men were inside that vehicle, unregistered vehicle, and suspected to be the military who were escorting this stolen kettles, alleged stolen kettles. So on their way, I don't know whether they were going to Moko or wheresoever, went and hit another woman on her way with her child and a container, provision container along the route. And that's another issue that has to do. Now, in Binturi issue, the issue of a Kusas and Mampusi issue in the area here, there are areas that you cannot go there. If you are a Kusas, you cannot go there. The same area too. We have an area whereby a Mampusi man cannot also go there. So now we all understand that this is the dry season. So we have the animals have free range. So normally when they go for feed and other things to a territory whereby the other side cannot go there, those people there will take those cattle as their own. So they have been killing some of them. It happened everywhere. So these ones, after it was alleged that the cattle were missing, the group of the people of Piyambi reported to the military. So the military were asked them to come to the town and search. So on their way going to search, they met the truck coming out with the cattle. So that was where they had the information and they were able to send the information to the police at Zebila to intercept them. So as we speak now, there's a serious case behind this because the man you've seen on the video, there's one gentleman that you've seen on the video. There's another video circulating after the people brought it out, whereby they slaughtered some of them already and they were sharing it and the song background, everything. Right. So we leave it to the security to investigate. But as we speak now, there's calm in the area, but people are beginning to question the military why they did this escort.
Kasim, I'm sure we'll come to you for more details in our subsequent bulletin, but that was our Upper East Regional Correspondent, Kasim Idrisu. Away from that, one person has been shot dead with several others injured in a violent clash between youth from Mankisim and Ekunfi Eisam in the Umfanseman municipality of the Central Region. The incident, which occurred in broad daylight, is said to have originated from an earlier misunderstanding at the Salt Pond beach. Tensions later escalated near the Mankisim Shell filling station, leading to a violent confrontation involving firearms, cutlasses, and corrosive substances. Now, the deceased, identified only as Wisdom, died from gunshot wounds, while other victims sustained acid burns and cutlass injuries. The violence caused widespread panic, forcing residents to flee to safety. No arrests have been made so far, but the police said the case has been reported. The case has since been reported to the Mankisim Police Command for investigation, while the body of the deceased has also been deposited at the Salt Pond Government Hospital mortuary for autopsy. Let's get some more details from our Central Regional Correspondent, Yabujan, who joins us via Zoom. Yabujan, do we know if the police have made any arrests so far? Yet?
Yeah,
come again?
I'm asking whether the police have been able to make any arrest yet.
Yeah, not yet, but we just spoke to the Marketing Divisional Police Command, which he has assured that they will make any possible means to arrest the perpetrators or those who are involved in this crime. As I'm saying right now, no arrest has been made so far.
But the information we're receiving is quite tricky. Can you tell us exactly what happened? Because how did it escalate from people using cutlasses and whatnot, including acid? What exactly transpired?
So what happened was that the issue transpired during the ceremony at a Kofi, where some youth from marketing also went there. So through the wedding, the youth from marketing and a Kofi started arguing over Miss motorbike, which youth from a Kofi accuses those from marketing of stealing the bike from a Kofi. So upon the argument, the youth from marketing left the scene marketing. So upon, in that very day evening, the youth met in a certain filling station at marketing, where an argument started. But upon the youth from Kofi were hiding acid and cutlasses on them. So attack or they clashed each other at the filling station, which leads to the death of one of the youths from Mankesim, and others also injured through the clashing.
Right. Grateful for those updates. That was our man in the central region, Yabu region. But away from that, an Accra-based humanitarian non-governmental organization has cleared the hospital bills for more than 100 needy mothers and clients of the South Tongue District Hospital at Sugakope in the Volta region. My Help, Your Help Foundation also presented 50 baby hampers and assorted food items to newborn babies and their mothers in order to put smiles on their faces during the festive season. The gesture forms part of activities to mark the 7th anniversary of the NGO. Benjamin Makafu-Yatipo reports.
The decision by the NGO to select the South Tongue District Hospital for the humanitarian gesture follows disturbing reports that the non-payment of hospital bills by clients in the hospital's catchment area has become a big issue for some time now, resulting in a strain on the finances of the facility. Mr. Samuel Omega is the administrator of the hospital.
As we speak, we have not less than 100 persons who are owing bills on our records. And so that's quite frustrating for us. It's almost every day we have such cases of people who come in. Sometimes some people will say, okay, I'm going to procure some services that we don't have in this facility elsewhere and come back, and they never come back again.
It is against this backdrop that My Help, Your Help Foundation moved out of
Let's bring you some business updates now.
The Business Brief is brought to you by CompuGhana, passion for technology.
And Beverages Association of Ghana has dismissed claims by Temaport management that challenges at the bulk and baggage or bagged cargo section has been resolved. In a statement, the association says its members continue to face severe operational disruptions, stressing that conditions at the ports have rather worsened. Now, Fabak cites information from within the facility suggesting that performance levels are now the poorest in more than 2 decades. According to the association, cargo discharge rates have fallen drastically, with vessels currently offloading about 200 metric tons per day, compared to a previous average of 2,000 metric tons. A drop, it says, is crippling efficiency for food and beverage importers. The association has criticized what it describes as a gap between official assurances and realities on the ground, cautioning that downplaying the situation could undermine the confidence, and is calling for urgent engagement. GHOne Awuni is the chairman of Food and Beverages Association of Ghana and joins us via phone for a conversation on this. For those of us who don't work within the sector, help us understand what exactly is the bulk and bagged cargo section and how does that impact your work?
Good afternoon to you and then good afternoon to your viewers and Happy New Year to everybody. The bulk and bagged cargo section has to do with shiploads that come in with consignments that belong to just one buyer. So we have something like sugar, like a shipload of sugar, a shipload of oil, a shipload of rice, a shipload of cooking oil, or those kind of stuff. So these are what we call bulk and bag. So they could be bag or they could just be in bulk and they have to be discharged. So compared to others that normally will come in the form of containers, others normally will come in the form of containers. So if your goods come in container, it's not a full ship. So you just take your container and go. As it is now, I don't have any information that the port has any difficulty with clearing containers. But what we are specifically talking about is bulk and bag goods, shiploads that come in. And as we speak now, we have 3 ships that have been there for the past week or more. NV AK Halima, NV Marco, NV JBK. They have been at the port for over a week now, and they have had challenges in discharge. Their goods cannot be, their goods are being discharged very, very, very slowly.
But can you help us understand how this condition has worsened? You mentioned that it's worse than the previous year.
The insiders of the port, even as of today, continue to describe the current situation worse in over 23 years. It hasn't happened. Port movement has been very, very slow. Vessel turnaround has been very terrible. And as we speak now, indeed, the port officials are even asking cargo owners, the bulk owner or the bulk goods owners, to bring in their own people, their own laborers to discharge the goods.
That has been the response from management of Tema Port to you?
Yes?
I'm asking, you're saying that management of Tema Port are asking you to bring in your own personnel?
To bring in our own personnel and discharge the goods because they don't have the personnel. The personnel that they have had challenge with them since for the past 3 months. And in an attempt to introduce 24-hour economy at the port, the laborers there disagreed. There was a disagreement between them and then the laborers. So they decided to call the bluff of the laborers and bring in their own new staff. And the new staff are unable to do the job. They are discharging 200 metric tons a day compared to the previous laborers who were discharging about 2,000 metric tons, the minimum a day.
But GHOne, what corrective measures is your association calling for?
The corrective measures is that if they either bring in the old labor to deal with it, or they bring in more laborers to be able to discharge the goods as they used to do. Because if you have about 30,000 metric tons of rice or sugar in the ship, and you are discharging 200 tons a day, calculate, you will know how long it will take you. And then the vessel doesn't belong to you. The longer you take time to discharge your goods, the more demurrage you pay. And you pay a demurrage of between $10,000 to $20,000 or even sometimes $30,000 a day.
Right.
Depending on the size of the quantity of your goods and the size of the ship.
Right. GHOne, unfortunately, we have to end the conversation here, but I'm grateful that you could join us here on Newsroom. GHOne Awuni is the chairman of Food and Beverages Association of Ghana. That ends it for business.
The Business Brief was brought to you by CompuGhana, passion for technology.
Rodriguez that she could pay a very big price, probably bigger than Maduro, if she does not do what's right. The U.S. president asked that for Venezuela, regime change is better than whatever they have now. At her first cabinet meeting, Rodriguez, who is due to be sworn in today, issues a direct appeal to Trump that the Venezuelan people deserve peace and dialogue, not war. Meanwhile, Maduro is expected to appear in a New York court after being seized during the U.S. airstrikes on the country on Saturday. And that's how we wrap up this edition of Newsroom Live on GHOne TV. But you can log on to starfm.com.gh for more news. I am Nadima Umar Uthman. Good afternoon.